I uploaded every day last week and the response from you guys has been awesome. If you haven't seen any of those videos, please go watch them. But in my most recent video, which is everything that you need to know about lineups in Valorant, I mentioned that I had a folder with every single lineup that I have in the game, and I got this comment. So I've just decided to show every single lineup that I have in the game. Small disclaimer, I may not be the first person to ever invent these or create these, but I did come up with them on my own. If there is a lineup in this video that I did not personally find while in a custom game, I will mention where I got them from. And with that disclaimer out of the way, please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the video. Just for reference, these are the maps that I have lineups for. I don't have lineups for every single map. Like for example on Bind, I mainly play Killjoy, Chamber, sometimes Reyna, which those agents don't need lineups. So like I said, I'm going to be showing all the lineups that I have, which are for these maps. Okay, so starting off with Ascent, I really only have lineups for KO. There was a long time ago I came up with lineups for Viper, but I've never played Viper on Ascent basically, and I've never had to use those lineups, so I've never recorded them or anything. Now I don't have a lot of lineups for Ascent, and there's just like stuff like this where come to this corner, you aim there in between these two like fork prongs, I guess, here in the sky in the middle of it, and that will land right here. And it basically clears main and lane, but you could also just do that as well. This isn't really a lineup, but you could just do that and it'll see if anyone's in market. And if you go a bit to the left, it also clears that rat corner. Sticking to B site, this is something that I showed in that my last video. It's a flash lineup where you line yourself up with the door, and you aim just above this house and it'll land right there. Now again, I don't have anyone to show it off with, but it will land here, so you can have your friend come here or even all the way here, and the flash will go off in the open right here, and anyone that's here will get flashed and your teammate can peek and dash away. Now since this is KO, remember you don't need to have every single lineup imaginable for every single spot. You can do the impromptu lineups that I mentioned where you look straight up. Then once the sound barrier hits it, it will land, should land here. Again, not a lineup, but if you're defending A, just knife there, and it gets, if they're having early aggression, I guess. This knife here clears all of close sight. Basically, you come here, line yourself up with this gap, make sure your crosshair is there. You're crouched, and you put the top of the knife there in that divot, like where the shingles are on that roof, and you throw it and it'll land right over here or here, and it'll clear all of sight. It won't get heaven or hell. It makes sure it clears close. Now again, you could also just do that. Now the Valorant team just announced that they're testing out some nerfs to KO's right click pop flash, so it's going to be harder to come out of smokes here. So this is not really a lineup, but something to help with that. You could always just over the wall, and that will get literally everyone here, 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 here. So if your team's ready to pop out of the smoke, you can just and then your team can push in, then you can come in behind them. Now again, this isn't necessarily a lineup. You kind of just, you know, what I said before, where you look straight up, then once the thing hits it, and it should come about here. I don't know if you'd count this as a lineup, but I did in my last video. So if you want to clear main as a defender, you can just come here, aim at the bottom right of that window thing. I don't know why there's a window there, but bottom right there, and that'll come clear anyone aggressing main, clear this corner, and anyone that's getting ready to go B. Now you can also do this in reverse from over here on the right onto that side there, or right like that. Now both of these will clear main as well as this rat corner there. And I guess that's really it for Ascent. I don't have many lineups for Ascent because on Ascent I mainly play Killjoy or KO, and like I said, for KO you have the molly thing where you look straight up, and then I just have those two knife lineups. So moving on to Breeze. Obviously there's this really the famous one, you know, my friend showed it to me, so there's not really anyone that I can like accredit to. You aim at the best way to know it is like there's three sticking out, two big ones and then a small one. It's the middle one. Shoot it and it'll land here. But the one that I use most often when planting, when attacking A, is I like to plant here in the corner here, because especially for this one, everyone has seen it. I don't have a clip of it, but in the last game I played on Breeze, the other team had a Sage and they Sage walled it, and the Viper Molly bounced off of the wall. This one they can't do that, and I'll show you why. Basically, you come here, you line yourself up with this column, and before obviously before you're not just gonna sit here and get ready to shoot your lineup. You're gonna like watch your flank, watch halls, make sure that nobody's coming. But when you're doing your lineup, you line yourself up with this, and you see the toxin bar right there. I'm gonna zoom in onto it when editing, but you see the top left corner, you're gonna match it to this pipe, the top right of that pipe, and that's gonna land exactly on the spike in the corner. And as you're gonna see why, it bounces off of the pyramid, so the Sage wall can't block it. Now these next two lineups I got from a YouTube video that I looked up. I cannot find them for the life of me though, so if anyone knows who came up with this, please let me know in the comments, because I've been trying to find it, but I can't find it. But basically this is the orb lineup that I showed in the last video, where you come line yourself up with this blue thing. Your crosshair goes right beside this leaf. I can't ping it, but there's like the protruding leaf stack there, just above to the right of it, and you're gonna walk until your crosshair lines up like this with that tube. And once it lines up, you're gonna jump throw. Once that lines up, you're gonna jump throw, and it should. This one is really hard. Just like that, I'm fucking awesome. So basically you do that and it'll cover all of nests, and it allows your teammates to sneak up elbow, get better mid control. Now I know I said the next two ones I got from the video, but I'm just gonna do this one because it's orb lineups. I found this one out myself. You come here, line yourself up here. The wall barrier goes to like here. Basically you come here into the corner, and that little, you know what a bee is, you know how it, in the middle, then you just throw it, and it'll land here, letting you come here and sneak here, allowing you to better do an A split with your team. So I showed two post plant lineups for A, and now here's two for B. Now one of these I did get in the same video as the orb lineup I just showed, and for this one you're gonna want to plant here in between this thing and the wooden panel. So basically you're going to line yourself up with this middle stain in the wall, and you're going to, the middle line in between the orb and the wall where the 100 is, you're going to put that line on top of the cannon, and you're going to shoot it. There is a variation of that one that goes to where I put the spike, where you come here, and instead of putting the 100 line, you put the orb. And that should go to where I just showed. Nope, I lied. It goes here. I'm too lazy to re-record it. Just 100 one, wood panel. Orb one, behind the fucking cube. Okay, this one I came up with myself. Admittedly, it is extremely hard to remember. But basically, all you have to kind of remember is there's this one, here, and then this here, one, and then it's here. Basically, you're gonna line the top left of your smoke or toxin whatever meter with the right side of this, the brick, like the caulk, and then you shoot it, and it'll land on should land here. Basically in the same spot. For this one, you shoot it and then you come here. That one you shoot it and then you come here. I think this is another one to do the orb to top nest. Again with this, I don't remember. I think I got this from a TikTok, but I'm not 100% sure. Basically, you're gonna come to this part here when you're going to be. Line yourself up with this corner, and you're gonna aim right here. And you're gonna do a jump throw. You see it goes there.
Poison orb emitting.
Covers all of nest and allows your teammates to sneak up. Now I don't know if you count this as a lineup, but I usually do this when I'm rotating from B to A and they're planting. Just come in and it'll... Okay. It's the first time that's ever happened, but usually just come and shoot it like this, and it should go to back here if anyone's like playing back there, Okay, and that was Breeze, and now on to Haven. I'll just go from A, B to C. Just like full disclaimer, every molly that I have on A, except for one, I got from a YouTube video. If I should be able to find it because I watched it recently. But every lineup in there I got from that video, so it should be in the description, hopefully. And when I said except for one, I meant for except for two, because there's another one that I came up with myself. But yeah, so this just default is here. Okay, well that's a nice bounce there, buddy. You know, you plant it there, you know. So I guess I'll start off with the two that I came up with, which is here. You come here, you line yourself up with this thing. You aim at this dark brick. I'm not good at explaining things, but you know what I mean, right? There's one that's the furthest out. You jump and shoot it once your crosshair gets onto the decorative plate. Molly! And it'll land there. This just slows them down, basically. Now, this other one I didn't 100% create. I took one, I believe it's from the same video, but I changed it a bit. So basically, you come into this corner. You see this small, tiny little leaf right there. And what you're going to do is line up where it says V for me, but the stem, you're going to line it, the left side of it up with that leaf. And you're going to shoot it, and it's going to come and land default. Now this is another one from default from the video I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to stop saying that. Just know everything from A I got from that video. You're coming and line yourself up with edge here of the wall, and you see where it shows the left click of the mouse where there's that triangle. You're going to put it right there where you see how there's like two divots within the leaf. You're going to put the left side of the mouse part of the HUD there and shoot it. It will land basically in the same spot. Now, of those two, I prefer the one that I made adjustments to because it's more hidden. They're less likely to clear that than they are to not notice you here. Now, here's two for some pretty obscure locations. This one, I believe, goes to right over here. It'll bounce and then it'll come over to there. And this one right here will land right there. Molly. Okay, now while recording this, I just found another one. Basically, you see the little like crosshair above the mouse symbol. You're gonna put that like here, in between this little edge and the brick part of the wall. And you shoot it, and it's not going to land exactly where the spike is right now. It's going to land over here. Basically, you plant there in the middle instead of on the left or the right. Come here with this wall. You don't have to be as specific as this, where it's like flush line up with the two corners. And you aim at the middle of the top of this empty square. And it will land right there. Basically, you come here into this corner. You aim here where there's like a gap. There's a gap in between this wall and this. What I think it's something to do with radiant, whatever. I don't know what it is exactly. With my crosshair, you can see like a gap in between the two, so it's easier for me. But this will end up right here for like the open plant spot. Now, if you go back to the same spot and you aim right here. This will go to, I think it's called default. My default is here, but I guess this is what most people's default is. Now moving on to this one, the top of the flame goes to, you see these three like pillars, 1, 2, 3. You go to the middle one and the top of the flame, and this will go to default. Bounce, and then go to default. But if you're playing for long, I would not recommend planting there because you cannot see it from there. Now the top left of the stem icon goes to this part of the leaf. The edge of this one right there. And this goes to the open spot. Molly. This goes to right here. And now finally for C, it's the top right of the stem icon this time, and you're gonna put it, you see these three things, you're gonna put the top right, like the slanted part, exactly on the corner of the last one there. Like that. And this goes to, I don't know exactly what to call it, but it goes here. You know, you line this up here. You alt.
Open up the sky! My ult's ready. Molly!
And then that'll basically keep them busy for long enough for it to land, and then they won't be able to defuse. So yeah, that's Haven. That's everything I have for Haven. Next up is Icebox. Okay, now for Icebox, I'm gonna try to rush through this. Okay, so this knife goes to yellow, so it clears yellow. You come here into this corner here, up and spawn, and you see these two like stars or whatever. Meet them in the middle, and that will land on yellow. There. So basically, if there's like a chamber or jet hopping, you can get them here so they can't TP out or dash away. Staying on B side, after you plant the spike over here, you know, you can come back here and aim here at this part. If you aim here, I think there's a chance of it getting stuck somewhere. Because I've had to get stuck before, so I trust this spot more. So whatever you do, don't aim there. Another one that works is jumping up here and then aiming at the very top right corner. It bounces and then it comes here again. Defending B, it's not really a lineup, but you can just knife here. And it gets all of that, lets you know. Or you can wait a bit and then it's probably safer, your knife is less likely to get destroyed. Now if you come here, you can throw your knife there. And you can see it gets B long as well as mid. Now if you have to rotate from A to B, you can line yourself up with this and aim at this white like star. And this also goes to yellow. This is basically just, by the time it lands, you're here already. So it helps you with retake. Now if you come over here, you can get the knife. This isn't anything like precise here. Get it here and it'll get anyone coming A main. There will get anyone going to nest. But I really like this one where you put it here. It'll get anyone going A main or mid. You come here, you line yourself up with this. The arrow underneath the two mouses, you line it up there. And then you go up. And then you take a step forward and flick your mouse up and left click. And it should go to default right there. Now remember, anything you do with with KO, you can do with Killjoy. A post plant molly lineup for A site. You plant here at the rope. You come all the way back here to nest, to belt. You come here and you aim at this line, and when you hear them tap it, you just come out like this, and you'll see that it'll land exactly on the spike. And you can do pretty much the same thing with Viper, but basically you aim at this line here, and then when they tap it, it'll land on it. Obviously you're gonna have your orb on it. KO, it's up here. Viper, it's here. Now the same way I used that one to clear yellow, you can use this one to clear close, or just get information on who's on site. If you want to see how many are on site or which agents are on site, you put your crosshair underneath this arrow, which is the third one from the right. Jump, and then at the peak of the jump, you left click. And you can see that goes there, and it gets all of sight. But if you think that they're aggressing and they're pushing, go to the middle of these two, or the right one, really doesn't matter. Just jump and the same thing, it'll come here and it'll just clear close, it'll clear pipes, it'll clear here. So yeah, that's Icebox, and now on to Pearl. Pearl is a very special map to me because when the map first came out and they let content creators on it, I basically studied every little possible bit I could from streams and whatnot, and then when the map finally became available, I spent 5 hours on it just to get used to the layout as well as some lineups. So let's start with A. You come here, you line yourself up with this, and the right diamond pyramid thing, line it up with this
Here.
part of the roof. It's a jump throw, but it's not a jump throw at the same time. It's a jump and then throw. Then it lands right there. And then you come and you put the wall up like this. So just to get you to see what it looks like is this. So the wall blocks them from seeing you, blocks secret, blocks flower. Once you plant it, you can take sight, and you can take even more of sight. You can take secret as well. So that's a pretty good pog champ way of taking sight. But obviously, once you plant and you have sight, you can pick up your orb and then put it on top of the spike, which will be planted right there. And then I showed how to do this lineup in my last video, but basically you come here. Obviously you pair that with the orb. Now while defending a site, you can put a wall like this, which the wall covers main, covers art, but it also covers here. So they can take, your enemy will take decay damage, and you can just molly onto here or have like a KO molly or whatever. But I wouldn't really recommend that, honestly. I would say keep your wall for retake. And basically this one is you line yourself up with the second stairs, I think, and then you grab the orb and the line between the wall and the alt, you put it right there where the tile meets that black square, and you throw it and it lands there, creating a one-way for you. And this is what they see, basically. They see nothing. Well, you see everything. Then also when defending B, there's this wall here, which covers main, and then it also does the thing I mentioned with the other wall. And there's this sort of one way where you do there, and it does that. You can use it as a one way from this angle only. When it comes here, you're exposed. And now we come to my favorite part. There's only two things that I did not come up with. The attacking setups on B site that I can do on B site Pearl with Viper are my favorite in the game. So the pre-wall, the pre-round wall or whatever goes there. So you can come and do like this wall here. And then you come back and go into this corner. And the toxin meter or whatever, you put the top left into the bottom right of that sign, and you can see on the map where it's going to land. It goes there. So this is what it looks like.
Toxins going up. Orb emitting.
Like that. Now I don't know if they get decayed when they're sitting in that corner. I don't think so. But here is another setup. Now I found this one on TikTok, and you know how TikTok is. It's gone forever. I will never find it again. But basically you come and you line yourself up with this. You can see the wall on the minimap, and you want to put it at this height. Honestly, this one is very, very tricky. I think I got it.
Toxins going up.
It'll come and it'll look like this. So basically you come, you clear sight, you plant here,
I've dropped the spike.
and you throw the orb there. And this is where it looks so beautiful. But this is where the lineup, the very special lineup comes in. So you come to this corner here, line between the molly and the orb goes right here on this this shingle that meets the pipe. And it just goes on top at the very edge there. Basically shoot it, and then you put the orb up, but it lands right there. So basically that paired with that. Okay, now to end this video off, there are just like some KO ones that I know. Basically the same one they use the Viper molly with, but you put it instead of here, you put it up here. And this will get sight. You can do it in reverse. You come here, you put the molly thing circle on top of that light right there, And that will go to, I believe, hit this house. And then again, with the look straight up thing, there's, you know, defaults. Straight up. And we'll throw it up. Sometimes it hits this house. But most of the time it'll do that. Oh, I almost forgot. There's like 1 or 2 with fade, and then this video's done. Okay, I'm just gonna do these quickly. I'm not really gonna explain anything that much because there's not really much to explain. You kind of just aim there and then jump there, and it'll land like that. Get sight and then main, and then vice versa on the other side. Just jump up and throw it, and it'll land right there and get main. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.